So Ghost of Tsushima has done very well, and it was recently released, and it's already very successful as a game. Many people enjoy it, myself included. Highly recommend it. But of course, we've already seen where woke Twitter themselves, they have already been very upset with the game. And, they're upset at Japanese audiences because Japanese audiences, they love the game. So they're upset over that. And of course, now salty Last of Us 2 fans are coming to review Brigade the game. Because, of course, it's getting praise and The Last of Us Part 2 didn't. So, of course, they're coming after the game. Ugh, it's absolutely ridiculous. Hey, what is going on, everybody? How are you all doing today? I hope you all are having a wonderful and fantastic day today. And if not, hopefully you all will have a better tomorrow. So, the salty Last of Us Part 2 fans are coming after Ghost of Tsushima. They're going to the Metacritic and they're trying to review Brigade the game. They're trying to bring down that score as best as they can. I mean, it's absolutely absurd. I mean, that they are going after this game. They're really upset that Ghost of Tsushima is very well enjoyed as to where, Last of Us Part 2 isn't like they want it to be, So, of course, they're going after it, as well as some of the critics have actually tried to be very hard in this game. Well, you know what? Here's what I have to say about that. Time for us to lay down the smackdown. So, Ghost of Tsushima, if you look at the reviews here, there are 7,913 user score reviews that are positive, and then you have 362 that are negative. And I mean, when I talk about these reviews being absolutely ridiculous, I mean, some of these are just really, really stupid. I mean, let's take a look at some of these negative reviews. 0 out of 10, and this person, as you can clearly tell, spazzed out on their keyboard while writing a review. Something like this. It's funny that, you see the media come out to defend The Last of Us Part 2 when they were doing that, right? Saying that, oh, it's just a bunch of trolls. Well, then what's this? What's this? Very downgrade, and then they just have that spaz attack on the keyboard for that review. What do you call that? I mean, seriously. There's no way the media is going to bring that up. No way. And then, of course, another person says, very, very disappointed. Game looks like it has loads of filler, and the story and writing is poor, in my opinion. Combat is very easy and gets old quickly. Camera angle is very clunky. Game feels very dated. If it came out 5 years ago, I would think it would have received much better. Disappointing. I mean, I think that's a very harsh review for what it is. I mean, that's certainly way too low. This game doesn't deserve a 2. I mean, that's ridiculous. Other people came in here and stated bad history, a lot, official bugs, graphical problems, and a bad gameplay. Wow, okay. This person needs to correct things a little bit with their grammar. Don't buy it, apparently, is what they're saying. Bugged as F, boring and unoriginal. Don't buy this. It's so bad, I want refund. Zelda wannabe. I mean, you see a lot of the same thing coming from this, and, a lot of these reviews are basically just what it seems to be copy-paste. It was like what happened with The Last of Us Part 2 when you looked at that. When you look at all those reviews, they were copy-pasted the same thing when it came to the positives as well as the critics. So for the user score reviews as well as the critical reviews, you saw a lot of the same thing. And as everybody knows, you don't trust game journalists. Well, some of them really went hard on this game with 70s and 60s even, which I think this game is at least an 8.5, if not a 9, because this game is fantastic. But, you never trust game journalists. That's been proven time and time again, because they're a bunch of talentless hacks. But when you look at this 60 from The Gamer. Some people will be okay with that and will even enjoy the open world trappings Ghost of Tsushima offers. For me, I'm not sure if I can tolerate more riding around looking for boring filler while wishing AAA gaming could finally deliver a truly compelling story. Wow. Are you sure about that? Is this game is actually quite fun. I find it to be very enjoyable. I mean, I'm not finished with it yet, but as much as I've played, the filler itself's pretty fun. The action gameplay, I actually do enjoy it. I think it is fun. Some of it can be, a little bit repetitive, but I find it to be very enjoyable for what it is. Of course, you have The Guardian, which is another trash site, as well as VG247, which is also trash. And this is what VG247 had to say. It has its moments. But like Jin Sakai in the opening hours, the past holds it back. It's open world, the video game. It's far too easy. The lack of consequence or failure makes it feel like you're just going through the motions. If you'll excuse the wind-based pun, it's a breeze. While playing it, I often found my mind wandering. By the third and final act, I just wanted it to be over. Like the samurai, Ghost of Tsushima feels like a relic of a bygone era. You see, this is a bit too much, in my opinion, for this game. This is why you don't trust game journalists at all. I mean, they're a bunch of hacks, anyways, and they really wanted to get rid of user reviews as much as they could, so they can be the voice of the people. Yeah, you're completely out of touch with gamers. Just saying, you always will be. That's how game journalists are. That's what they will always be. But there was this article here of after The Last of Us 2's review bombing scandal, Metacritic paused Ghost of Tsushima's verdicts. Now, one thing I want to take a look at here was it did state, please spend some time playing the game. Come back to review it starting at 12 o'clock p.m. PST on July 18th. Here's the funny thing. Who's to say that these game journalists do that? You know what I mean? Like, who's to say that they come around and they actually take their time to play the game when they probably just pick it up for a few minutes, play it, and then it's too hard for them because they don't know how to play a game. And those game journalists make up some reviews. There's that. But when you look at it, continuing forward, perhaps a little red-faced that its user reviews have become one of the key battlegrounds of The Last of Us Part 2's well-documented backlash. Metacritic temporarily paused Ghost of Tsushima's verdicts while it encouraged fans to play the behemoth open-world game. Not only held the feature back for 21 hours, but those eager to rate the release on launch day were told to spend some time playing before returning on July 18th. The title's now amassed almost 450 user reviews. Well, as you can tell, it's been updated from what I've shown you. And secured a rating of 8.9, so there's no sniff of a review bombing scandal here. Metacritic will be hoping that the small adjustment goes a long way towards discouraging miscreants, but we'll need to wait for a more controversial title before we can truly see its efforts have had any effect. Oh, and considering that we're already seeing the issues happen, well, let me show you the evidence of salty Last of Us 2 fans that are going in there. So there's an entire Reddit post, okay? This entire Reddit post is evidence of these salty Last of Us 2 fans coming in there and going after the game. So I do like what this says here. Last of Us 2 is not canon. Oh, that's great. Well, all these people review bombing Ghost of Tsushima because they are upset that Last of Us 2 is shit. And then, of course, it says, imagine leaving negative reviews on games just because everyone thinks completely different games are complete dog crap. Oh man, it's hilarious. So then, of course, here's the evidence, though. You see a bunch of these people, like that Dave guy. He's only reviewed 3 games, one of them being a 10 out of 10 on Last of Us Part 2 and a 0 on Ghost of Tsushima. A 0. You have another review here. This guy had 2 reviews, Last of Us Part 2 and Ghost of Tsushima. And he gave it a 4, while he gave Last of Us Part 2 a 10. You have another person here with 2 reviews. Well, what do you know? Last of Us Part 2 and Ghost of Tsushima. Again, a 10 for Last of Us Part 2 and a 0 for Ghost of Tsushima. Man, who would have guessed? I mean, this is the evidence right here to prove that there are a lot of people here that have been jumping in to basically just brigade the game and try to lower the score because they are salty because people didn't like The Last of Us Part 2. Because they gotta stand by the game and they have to just try to defend The Last of Us Part 2. So they're going so far as to try to brigade and try to lower the score of Ghost of Tsushima. It's absolutely ridiculous. I mean, most of these people have at least 2 to 3 reviews. Not very many at all. So it's typically about 2 to 3 reviews, and that's all you really see. And that's exactly what they're doing. They're just going and trying to bring down the game. So this Reddit post really went to prove that. And, it goes to show you how salty those Last of Us Part 2 fans are because Ghost of Tsushima is doing so well. And they're going this far. And I bet you right now, the media will not bring this up. I bet you they will keep this completely quiet. All those game journalists that stood by and still are continuing to stand by Last of Us Part 2 because that's the hill they want to die on. They're not going to bring this up. They are not going to say a word. They're going to stay silent and they're going to let this continue to happen. I guarantee it right now. I guarantee you they're not going to say a single thing. They're not going to bring this up. That's how it is with them. And they're not going to say a word. And, speaking of how well this game is doing, I want to bring this up. So the UK sales charts, Ghost of Tsushima is the next PS4 exclusive to get top spot. So it's so successful that it is within the top 10 games out right now. And it says The Last of Us 2 is in 5th. Ghost of Tsushima is the second big PlayStation 4 exclusive of the summer, and just like last month's counterpart, it has debuted in first place in the UK sales charts. The latest open world experience from Sucker Punch Productions didn't manage to come close to the sales figures of Last of Us Part 2 as noted by Game Industry Biz, but it's still a very positive result for what could be another hit for Sony. The site knows that physical sales of Ghost of Tsushima were 7% higher than Days Gone at launch. Elsewhere, F1 2020 slips from first place down to third, while Last of Us Part 2 finds itself in 5th. Oh yeah, that's going to sink. That's going to keep sinking. Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy has climbed up another place in 9th, but one surprising omission is Call of Duty Modern Warfare. It hasn't made it into the top 10 all this week. Grand Theft Auto 5 still makes it in there in 7th spot. However, here's the latest top 10 in full. And then, of course, as you can see within the top 10, Ghost of Tsushima is number 1, Paper Mario The Origami King, which is in number 2, F1 2020 in 3, Animal Crossing in 4, Last of Us Part 2 in 5th, which I guarantee you, looking at everything with this game, it's going to keep plummeting. Watch it be next week that it's going to be in 6th, and then 7th, and then 8th, 9th. There's going to be a point where that game is not even going to be there. It is dropped so swiftly after it's released. And I mean, you have copies of this game out there all over the place. You have used copies all over the place. So there's no way this game is going to stay in the top 10 for that much longer. Like, I guarantee you, that trash fire of a game is going to drop. And Ghost of Tsushima, it makes sense why it's up there. It's a fantastic game. I mean, I can understand why it's selling so well. But Last of Us Part 2, I guarantee you, it's going to continue to drop. And, it's not going to be in that top 10 for much longer. I guarantee it. I mean, it's a trash game. And it's just going to keep plummeting. I guarantee it. But anyways, let me know what you think about this entire situation down below. Subscribe to the channel if you are new here, and make sure you are still subscribed because YouTube is unsubscribing people from all their favorite channels. So make sure you are still subscribed to all your favorite channels. Hit the video with a like, and also be sure to share the video on social media. Spread the word and get it out there. It's greatly appreciated, and it really helps out the channel a lot. Also, be sure to follow me on Discord. We have a wonderful community there. Not only that, but it will keep you up to date on when the newest videos will be released, as well as any other upcoming events in the near future. So be sure to follow me on Discord. The link is in the description down below. But anyways, I hope you all have yourselves a wonderful and fantastic day today. And remember, if today was not a good day, tomorrow could always be better. Take care of yourselves and everyone around you. And have yourselves a good one out there, everybody.